If you find yourself stuck for ideas when you're improvising, in this video you'll learn 10 new concepts that you can use with any scale or group of notes to make your solos sound way more interesting. Alright, let's get started. Hi, it's Paul from online Sax Academy, and I release a new lesson each week to help you become a better sax player and overall musician. So hit subscribe so you don't miss out on future lessons. So in today's lesson, we're going to play with the concert C minor pentatonic scale. For alto saxes, that's A minor pentatonic, A, C, D, E and G, and for tenor saxes, that's D minor, D, F, G, A and C. Now you can use any scale or collection of notes to practice these ideas. As today we're not learning specific licks or phrases, but we're taking more of a compositional approach to improvising, which is a really fun way to build your solos. If you've never really improvised before, I'd recommend you check out this previous lesson I did, which steps you through this same pentatonic scale, learning it as a set scale and then introducing more and more degrees of freedom till eventually you're making up your own phrases with it. Now these 10 ideas and a short explanation behind each one, along with the backing track we're using today, is available to download for free from the link down in the description below. It's a good idea to print these out and have them in front of you when you're practicing to keep you on track so you don't get distracted. Okay, let's get started. The first idea is also a great way to start any solo, and that is to limit the number of notes you're going to use. I'd try this idea with no more than 3 notes. So we'll take the first 3 notes of the scale. What you should focus on is playing really rhythmically, simply, and really sing the notes in your mind as you play them. We'll do 4 call and response phrases. I'll play first, and then you can play something in response. Now you don't have to copy what I'm playing, instead try and play something that complements the phrase. Remember though, we're just using the first 3 notes. Next up we have the phrase's shape. So for example, you could think of a phrase that goes up. Now how you play that phrase is entirely up to you. So you're not limiting yourself to the number of notes anymore, but you're focusing on the overall shape of the phrase. So let's try the same call and response exercise, but this time listen to the shape of my phrase and then respond with your own. Listen to whether I'm going up or whether I'm coming down. So the next idea is to focus on note values you're using. Try using, for example, only half notes or triplets, something other than the usual quarters and eighth notes. We'll try another call and response exercise. Listen to the note values I'm using and try to use similar ones. Alright, next up we have leaps. A nice concept is to leap up or down and then fill in the gap you created. So for example, if you went from like low A to high A, you would then play the notes in between that to fill the gap in. Alright, let's give it a try. number 5, we have a repeated hook. So you're going to play a short phrase and keep coming back to it. So for this exercise, we'll try a longer 4-measure phrases in our call and response. So number 6 is using the same rhythm but changing the notes. So this means that whatever you play in your first measure, you're going to take that rhythm and copy it into the second, third and even the fourth measure, but change the notes you're doing each time. Alright, let's give it a go. So number 7 is to use a sequence. So for example, we could play 1, 2, 3, then 2, 3, 4, and 3, 4, 5. This is probably one of the harder ones of the 10 ideas, as it's the most specific. There's nowhere to hide, so this is why jazz musicians will often practice these sequences separately, so that when they go to improvise with them, they already have them under their fingers, and then it's just up to them how they want to use it, so they can play with the rhythm and the phrasing and give it a new life each time they use it. Right, number 8 is something called cross rhythms. Now I talked about this in the context of improvising in 5/4 over the tune Take 5 in a previous video. This is a more advanced concept, so I'd recommend you check that video out to get a more detailed explanation of what they are and how to learn them. But in short, what you're going to do is take a group of notes that don't divide into a measure of 4 beats, like 3/8 notes for example, and then repeat them over and over, and this creates a really cool rhythmic tension which you can then release by finishing the phrase off. So let's try some out now. Okay, number 9, we're going to use an axis tone, which means we're going to revolve around a particular note. The best way to see what I mean is to hear some examples. I'll start by making the 3rd note of the concert C minor pentatonic scale the axis note, which would be a D for altos and a G for tenors. And number 10 is the use of space. This is by far the most forgotten and the most important. This one can be used in conjunction with nearly all the other previous ones we've done, and it's something that will make your overall playing sound a lot more mature. Alright, so let's give this one a go. Okay guys, that's it for this week's lesson. Remember to grab your free worksheet and backing tracks from the link down in the description below. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future lessons. And I'll see you again next week.